All right, welcome. If you're tackling your Level 6 Project Controls Apprenticeship, you are in exactly the right place, because today we're cracking one of the big ones, Skill S17. Yep, it's all about tenders and bids, and we're going to break down, step by step, not just what it is, but how you can absolutely nail it and prove it to your assessor. Let's jump right in.
So first up, let's meet Jody. She's a Level 6 Project Controls apprentice at a big retailer, IBIS Stores. She's smart, she's driven, and yeah, she's probably right where you are at this very moment, working hard, learning the ropes, and getting ready to ace that apprenticeship. And then, boom, the challenge lands. Her manager, Riddle, drops this massive opportunity right on her desk, a critical tender for a huge new store rollout. This isn't just a practice run, this is the real deal. It's a project that is going to live or die based on the quality of the bids. And it all comes down to skill S17. The pressure is definitely on. So here's our game plan for today. We're going to follow Jody's journey. First, we'll decode what S17 actually means. Then, we'll get into the nitty-gritty of building a powerful invitation to tender. After that, we'll evaluate the bid responses that come in. And, maybe most importantly for you, we'll cover how to evidence all this amazing work and walk into your endpoint assessment with total confidence. Okay, first things first. Before Jody can jump in, she needs to really get what this skill is all about. So she does the smart thing and grabs some time with her mentor, Adam, who's a total pro in project controls. So Adam kicks things off with the official textbook definition from the apprenticeship standard itself. Create project controls content to inform tenders and evaluate invitations to tender received and bid responses. Okay, it's a bit of a mouthful, right? It's accurate, for sure, but it doesn't really capture the true power of what you're doing here. And Jody's thinking exactly what you're probably thinking. Right, but what does that actually mean I need to do on Monday morning? And that is the most important question, bridging that gap between the formal definition and what it looks like in the real world. And this is where it all just clicks. Adam uses this brilliant analogy. He says, Jody, think of it like building an extension on your house. The invitation to tender, the ITT, that's your architect's brief. It's super detailed, it's crystal clear, and it sets all the expectations. The bids that come back, well, those are the quotes from all the different builders. And your skill, S17, that's your expert eye. It's the skill that lets you spot the builder who promises you the world in 2 weeks for $5,000, when you, the expert, know it's a 2-month, 20,000-pound job. You are the company's expert reality check. So with that new clarity, Jody is ready. Her first big task is to help create that architect's brief, a really rock-solid invitation to tender. And this isn't just about listing what IB Stores wants, it's about embedding the rules of the game right into the document itself. See, this is the really clever bit. Jody's contribution isn't just about the what, it's about the how. She's embedding project controls right into the DNA of the tender. By defining scheduling standards and milestones up front, she stops bidders from submitting fantasy timelines. By setting clear cost reporting rules, she makes sure there's nowhere to hide financially. She even specifies how they'll measure performance, maybe using something like earned value management, so everyone is singing from the same hymn sheet. And critically, she forces bidders to be honest about risk and contingency. This whole process levels the playing field and sets the stage for a credible, honest evaluation later. Okay, fast forward a bit. The bids for the new stores are in. Now comes the second half of the skill. It's time for Jody to put on her detective hat and start digging. She's hunting for that builder who's promising the dream extension on a shoestring budget. Adam gives Jody this awesome checklist, her secret weapon for the evaluation. And notice, she's not just looking at the bottom line price. She's asking the tough questions. Does the schedule actually make sense? Are their resource assumptions even remotely realistic? Is there a clear link between the cost and the timeline? She's digging deep to find hidden risks, flimsy assumptions, and that all-too-common project killer, optimism bias. That's the tendency we all have to just hope for the best, which is a terrible project strategy. And this comparison just leaves it all out, doesn't it? It's night and day. On one side, you have the credible bid. The schedule is logical, the costs are aligned, risk is quantified, and the assumptions are clear. But on the other side, that's the optimistic bid. That's where you find all the red flags, crazy aggressive timelines, costs that just don't add up, and risks that are either completely ignored or brushed under the carpet. Jody's job is to find the hard evidence that separates fact from fiction. Okay, Jody has done some absolutely fantastic work here. But, and this is a huge but for every apprentice watching, doing the work is only half the story. Now she's got to prove it. This is where her apprenticeship coach, Olivia, comes in. She's here to show Jody how to turn all this great experience into killer evidence for her portfolio in a system like Apprenticeship.
And Olivia gives her this incredibly useful map. It's like a translator. It shows how the real-world actions Jody took directly translate into the official evidence types her assessor is looking for. That summary she wrote of her findings, that's a bid review summary. That email she sent to her manager, Riddle, explaining the risks, that becomes a reflective statement with stakeholder feedback. It's all about packaging your great work in the right way.
So let's get inside the assessor's head for a moment. What are they really looking for when they open your portfolio? They want to see objective, evidence-based thinking. They want proof that you understand risk right at the very start of a project. They want to see that you can challenge things professionally, not aggressively. And above all, they want to see that your work led to a smarter, more informed business decision. They want insight, not just your opinion. All right, we're at the final hurdle now, the endpoint assessment, the EPA. This is Jody's moment to shine, to articulate everything she's learned in that professional discussion. Olivia is there to coach her on how to structure her answers to really show off the depth of her expertise. So picture this, you're in the hot seat. The assessor leans in and asks you this: describe how you assess the credibility of a bidder's program. It's a classic question, but it can be tricky if you're not prepared. So how do you answer it? Olivia tells her to use the STAR method. It's foolproof. Situation: I was working on the IBS stores tender. Task: my specific job was to assess the realism of the program. Action: here's exactly what I did. I checked the logic, I challenged the durations, I cross-referenced it with the costs, and then, the most important part, the result. My analysis identified a concrete 15% risk of delay, and that led directly to our team taking action. See, it's concise, it's packed with evidence, and it's incredibly powerful. Now here's another big one they might throw at you, this time about the value you added. How did your work protect the organization from risk? They really want to know the so what behind your actions.
And here is how you frame an absolutely brilliant answer. It's not just about what you did, it's about the impact. You didn't just check some numbers, you provided objective assurance. You didn't just flag an issue, you protected IB stores from future cost overruns. You're showing that your work ensured the entire project got off the ground on a credible, solid foundation. That's a high-value contribution.
So if you take away just one single thing from our time together today, please make it this: mastering skill S17 makes you your organization's #1 defense against project failure. Full stop. Your work is that critical first checkpoint, stopping those unrealistic plans in their tracks before they can ever become a problem. And that really is the heart of it all. This skill isn't about ticking boxes or filling out spreadsheets. It's about earning your authority. It's what transforms you from someone who just reviews numbers into a trusted advisor who actively protects the business. You become the organization's first and most important line of defense against project failure. And that's an incredible place to be. Thanks so much for joining me.